In this video, I'm going to summarize the first 10 TPOT episodes for you, starting with episode 1, where Foreign stated the price again and again and again. There are some iconic contestants that you want to get to see in the season, which are Firey, Leafy, Bubble, and 13 other contestants. Yes, that includes for 5. Winner ended up receiving the most votes on the recommended character voting, so they get to join the other 40. But wait, odd values are not my motto, TBH. Solution, price tag ended up joining, or non-existing. The teams form up, and we got to hear up some very creative name choices such as Deadpack again, Ayo, TSTOE, Just Not, Teammates, and yes. To start the intro, and unlike many people, they made recreations too. It has high replay value and a good animation.
Yummy, delicious!
The contest for this episode takes place on the hotel, as it was very simple. The challenge was to get on top of the hotel, which Deadpack ended up losing this episode. Still, I don't want to explain this episode much deeper because the contestants are still trying to understand this new environment. And to top it all off, here's an iconic scene that happened this episode.
Whose fault their teams did so bad?
Well, I think you guys should stop projecting the blame onto me.
I think you should start projecting your voice!
When TPOT were released, it was overhyped by fans, maybe because it took 1.5 years. 1! That's almost 2! A random item? I wonder how this single item is going to hugely affect things in the plot. Pi was the first contestant to be eliminated, Teardrop joins late, then 2 proceeded to start the contest on to make the tallest stack of blocks. Gaty and 2 had a serious discussion, and oh boy, Teardrop was a huge menace in this episode. Oh, and this is not just the first. She ended up slipping on a banana, and the strongest team on Earth ended up losing. Moving on. The episode of TPOT 3 begins by blocks falling off. This was inspired by the Jack and Jill Fi last block video. At the start of the scene was one of my favorite picks.
Catch it.
No! Not my cheesecake! Not my cheesecake!
Foldy said her last goodbyes, and furthermore, the challenge started. The teams reused the leftover blocks on the previous challenge and asked the contestant to make them to some sort of an amusement park. Meanwhile, Ayo devised a plan to use the golf ball's invention called the brainwave. Puffball got too bitter on TV's creation and her minds went off the charts. Uh-oh, well that's not good. Snowball yeeted Grassy to the sky. Bro, yes, and teammates ended up for elimination due to clocks yapping earlier. Jokes aside, it was something along the lines of conflict. Moving on.
I cannot hold it in anymore. I just wanna...
The episode begins by Just Not on a roller
The
coaster.
rules of yo-yo chess?
Hold on, did they just use that goofy Vine Boom sound effect? Furthermore, since the elimination place is taken to a different area, that means a new song. Saw and Cloudy ended up getting eliminated. Anyways, take a look at this funny plant. It has 3 lives and only 7 of them existed. Wow, don't you just appreciate Mother Nature? The teams were sent to different parts of the Goiki, such as the Yo-Yo Land, real life, the space, and the desert. Bro, Yellowface, you are not him, bro. You are not him. Puffball and Lightning argued off for a few seconds. Just Not and Deadpack were out for elimination. Oh my god. Did dude just left with the fire still burning? Well, remember what I said earlier? Wow, don't you just appreciate Mother Nature? Well, it ended up being the opposite. Moving on. Now, for this one, I've taken into consideration that in all TPOT episodes, TPOT 5 ended up being the most filler episode to me. So let me break it down for you. The episode starts with TSTOE killing another funny plant. That goes to show that nature will never be taken seriously. Ice Cube made an ugly face, then the plates rolled down the hill. Will this episode not get much worse? Well, following that, Remote and Naily got the most votes. 2 plates ended up on Goiki Canal, which caused 2 to begin the challenge. The challenge for this episode is to retrieve the plates from the Goiki Canal. Will this episode not get any much worse? Well, after many deaths following, TSTOE and Ayo were up for elimination. And before I continue, did Just Not just break the law of physics? Gosh, I better report this to my boy, Isaac Newton. Hey, Isaac Newton! Hey Newton, is your refrigerator running?
Call me a tennis ball. Let's play tennis.
TPOT 6, which foreshadowed the previous episode and went to be the most hype episode because of the BFDI XI meetup event in 2023. Like, fans were wilding on this event though. They got to meet Carrie, do a Q&A.
Hello, everybody.
You could even meet with a human-sized cardboard replica too. I've always wanted to go to the event, but sucks to be me. Rumors about the TPOT 6 screenshots that first leaked spreaded around the internet since some people on the other side of the world couldn't come up to the meetup, and some even stream it. Now, where am I? Oh yeah, Foreign X made an appearance as they take role as chefs now at the hotel, temporarily. The contest on this episode revolves around cooking. Let my bro cook! Just Not went on a semi-medieval style quest, while the other contestants stayed on Goiki. And cool thing I just discovered, you could also tell that 2 is a powerful entity just them looking at this box that there are 96 chocolate balls. How? Teammates went to devise variously calculated booby traps. Yes, and that pack ended up being up for elimination. Apparently, check out this funny scene by the way.
Well, I'm a sucker for themed food. What do you use to make it? No tricks. It's just actual vomit.
Okay, maybe I covered up this episode way longer than I expected. So, moving on. TPOT 7. Robot Flower, Pen, and Pillow were brainstorming what power they could have used if they won. Like, imagine. Also, Pen, that's a lame power. Bro could have used the prize to face Depth. Clock and Lighting were the 2 contestants eliminated from the episode. But be real with me for a second. Clock didn't got eliminated. And I really like how Lightning standed up for herself. It gives a lively feeling that this show is the power of 2. Robot Flower realized that she doesn't like how the way the contestants treat her and wanted to become treated like not some sort of a mechanical mind. And for my Gen Alpha audience, bro think he the main character. Just Not had a trade-off and it's Gracie's moment again. Just this episode. And Just Not. Yes, Lucids, for this episode, hold your horses now, cause finally we get to see what the Exiters were doing after opening the mysterious door. That real long wait was worth it. TPOT 8 started out as Yellowface pulling a double diabolical lick on 2 contestants. Furthermore, Cake and Rocky ended up being eliminated. One cute bait, Donzo. This little fella has been through a hard time. And to think about it, would it be Rocky's downfall? A recurring challenge since BFDI 1A. When Barfbag noticed her newfound strength, she ended up throwing Pin, and there shows Fire and Leafy staying on their newfound island. She ended up going back to life as a giant tree. Teardrop would theoretically ended up being eliminated if Eraser could have pushed her while Snowball interrupted him, but oh my god, oh my, it ended up a betrayal for Eraser. No, bro. Ayo and teammates were ended up for elimination. Psst, I could describe Teapot 9 as scary. As the contestants gave Barfbag the lava-filled vomit, it ended up totally infecting a lot of contestants. All the teams split up and went under full lockdown. The Cake and State intro was interrupted, and afterwards, Coiny and Puffball ended up being eliminated. The contest for this challenge was to survive from a zombie apocalypse. Some scenes freaked me out, such as this Gatey scene as an example.
Come on. 2. I'm a little freaked out.
Nagalai, this part gave me the chills. Most of the contestants outside are by now infected. Pillow's just doing her thing as usual. Golf Ball and Tennis Ball tried many ways to fix this problem until Teardrop enters the room. And in a saving grace, she sacrificed herself to end this once and for all. And after an impossibly unlikely turn of random connected events, Teardrop ended up being eliminated, broke her mewing streak, and ended with a friendship bond with Eraser. Just Not is entirely wiped out this episode as they are up for elimination. At the end of the episode, we get to see 2 new surprising scenes, more Exeter lore, and 1. So, Teapot 10. Sorry if this episode is not that short as usual since I just want to make this video as entertaining as possible for you guys. So, if you're still here, why won't you press the like and subscribe for more unique BFDI content? And you should join the Discord server too, link in the description. Nickel ended up being eliminated on the 10th episode. Well, that propaganda didn't end up working as planned. The challenge revolves around the contestants' issues and their true nightmares. Black Hole's nightmare is to kill everyone. Pen is $1 trillion in debt. Also, cool thing, did you know Neurophobe is the fear of nightmares? Which largely contributes to one's appearance. The winner in Clock arc was resolved, and Fanny took matters to her own hands and apologized to Black Hole. Book finally moved on from her problematic past. Now, I wouldn't say it's problematic, but I could say these 2 are cool. Yeah, they chill. Clocks finally got to say goodbye. For real this time. Just Not and TSTOE are up for elimination this episode. And that wraps up everything for this video. Don't forget to comment if I missed something. And if you want to see more recaps like this, stay tuned on TPOT 20, y'all. Okay, what was the contest on TPOT 5 again? I forgot.